But forgiveness to me is so important. When I'd done the talk, I still found myself blaming this other person. Not very much, not as much as I used to. Because when I first ended that marriage, it was because all his fault. Everything that happened was his fault. He's sitting there smug, it's his fault. And there was me suffering, but it was his fault. So I went around with this massive resentment inside of me, as well as the pain. So it was just building and building and building. So when I managed to give my life story last autumn, August, I then realised that actually I hadn't forgiven myself. And forgiveness is quite an amazing therapeutic thing. And but that's a continuation as well. You know, like I said at first, when we first spoke, that it's unpeeling the onion. On your journey, you're continually unpeeling, unraveling. But so forgiveness, I had to sit in with myself, and I had to think about all the things that maybe I could have done differently. Maybe the things that I could have said differently, maybe the things that I added to that situation and beyond that situation, I needed to forgive myself. But once I'd started this self-forgiveness was the biggest growth that I could have done for myself. And it's not easy. It's not easy to forgive somebody when you still think. But actually, do you know what? It's okay, because as I said, now I've forgiven, I really have clarity of my purpose in life. I didn't have that clarity. I didn't know why I had to go on this journey. I now know that why I went on this journey, which is quite awesome really for me. It's to know why I had to go through what I had to go. To now know that I can take myself out there and I can help all these other women to live a life of purpose. It's like I was going to say on that one. So when you start to forgive, then you start to accept who you are. Self-love is self-acceptance as well. But also when you forgive, you accept yourself for all your mistakes, for all your good things, for everything that goes on. You learn to forgive. You don't say it's okay. You might have said or done something, but you learn to forgive in a gentler way, and a much more gentler spiritual way. So you're not beating yourself up. And again, you're nurturing, you're being kind, you're giving yourself that kindness, you're working from the heart. A lot of my work is not from my negative ego. A lot of my work is done from my heart. Well, all my work is done from my heart, because I'm heart-centered and that's how I work. I just don't really know what I'm going to say when I work with someone. I don't really know. But I get fantastic feedback and said, when you said, so, that's good. So, and also when you forgive, you then become vulnerable. And as I said, I've become very vulnerable. I've had to face a lot of issues the last few months around relationships, personal relationships, family relationships, things that are now cropping up, that were cropping up, but I buried them, but now is the time for them to come back. So when I say I'm vulnerable, I'm opening my heart really wide, and I'm letting those emotions drop down. So I always encourage my clients, but to hold them, to keep them safe. When they say to me, I feel very vulnerable, I feel very scared, I say, just trust your vulnerability, accept it, trust it. Because the vulnerability is the thing that makes you grow, allows you to grow, because you're then afraid to speak the truth. We all need, so many people don't speak their truth. So we have to be able to speak our truth. And when we speak our truth, that's when all the magic really happens. People will, I say to my coaching clients, people will either stay in your life when you start a coaching journey, or they'll run for the woods and you'll never see them again. If they run for the woods, they're not meant to be in your life. And that's fine, that's their issues. If they stay in your life, they'll accept you, they'll accept the changes, they'll embrace the change. And I always say to people that are in relationships and they want him or her to change, I say to them, the only person you can change is yourself. You can't expect anyone else to change, only yourself. So the coaching journey can be, you can end up that you've got you know, your friendships change, they evolve, they're different. But when you're being your authentic self, then you attract different people in life. You always attract different people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.